When I see things like this, it tells me and many other people what's coming. It tells you where the energies are headed when it comes to banking and blockchain, DLT. They're telling you what they want. This is coming from AmericanBanker.com, right? AmericanBanker.com. The piece is literally titled Bank Think. You see, this is how they speak. They speak through these websites, through these articles, these article writers and website owners that represent the banks. They're close with the banks. They've been close with them for years, with bank insiders, and they talk. And so they communicate to the people of the world through these mediums at times. This article is titled Bank Think, the SEC's new leadership must stop Gensler's stifling of innovation. But why? Why now? You don't think this article is strategic? This is on January the 1st. Also, once again, take into account a lot of people. Let's just be real here. A lot of people are still resting after New Year's. It was a crazy New Year's. A lot of people are still having to get over a hangover, probably. A lot of people are not ready yet to absorb this type of information, but they put it out on January the 1st. Now, you can't say, well, some people will read it later. Yeah, that may be true. I like to read things on the spot, but that may be true. But this is going to get buried. But wait, for the few that do read it, clearly they want this message out or it would not be here. Now, we have to think about who has the best relationship with banks in the U.S. And we're talking about fintechs and DLT, which is predicted to dominate in the U.S. Well, that would be none other than Ripple. You have a few companies that have really, really good relationships. Some of them I don't cover, but ones I do cover that have great relationships with a multitude of banks. You have like Ripple, you have Algorand, you have quite a few of them. The usual suspects. But look at this. This also tells you that the banks themselves, right, now that they've sort of capitulated, now that they've abdicated that throne of superiority because they can't do it anymore, they already admitted they can't survive without DLT. When you have the Bank for International Settlements, the bank of all banks, the bank of banks, however you want to phrase that, when they're admitting it, when they're waving the white flag, because they said it, right? We've read the documents here. And they're saying, go read it for yourself. And they're saying, hey, listen, we tried to catch up. We couldn't do it. There's parts that they're still analyzing of DLT technology, like interoperability, global reach. They can't do it because they have to choose a side now. As you've seen them, they were neutral for so many years. Now they're leaning heavily west. And the East is like, no, we're not going to have that. No. You see the divide, the fragmentation in the world. So DLT must lead the way because they're the only ones. The private sector, the DLT companies, the bank coins, they're the only ones that have true interoperability. And this is what I'm telling people. They don't step on each other's toes. Those utility coins across the board are absolutely so bullish. It's unbelievable. They all do something different. But the ones with interoperability, right, that can pull everything together, those are going to be special because the powers of the world, the bankers, the governments, they've always wanted to pull things together. And now they see that they can't do that. It's just not in the cards for them. So they'll settle for second place. They'll settle for a consolation prize. The consolation prize is, okay, we'll use this DLT technology. Sure. If it's going to allow us to sort of bring all of these different systems together, then we can make money in any way that we want. Of course, they can get access. They're going to try to get access to information, whether people are selling it themselves or the companies are just taking it outright, pretty much theft. But hey, some people disagree with that take. I could respect it. But they want all of that. The only way they can get that right now is through the DLT companies. Now, this is another reason why you're going to have the mass combination and congealing of DLT and AI. Don't forget it. I just read an article somewhere today and they were talking about AI in combination with DLT. If you type something in like that, you're probably going to see it pop up on Google. I don't know if I have it here. I'm pretty sure I have it in my files. I keep files. Yeah. Just digital files, but I keep files, but they're not here on these devices I'm using right now. I keep it on a separate device. But I'm pretty sure I have that article somewhere. That's going to be important. I'm not just talking to talk. You see how everything I've been saying has been coming together. That comes from hardcore research. AI is going to pop off. You haven't seen anything yet. It's going to be in combination with DLT technology, the bank coin companies. People haven't seen anything with that yet. Quantum computing. I saw an article the other day. I've never seen articles like this. Oh, quantum computing is going to take off. And they were telling people some quantum computing things that people could possibly invest in. I'm not going to say that stuff here, but I'm just saying I've never seen that before. But the people behind the scenes, the powers of the world, they know which are the new technologies that are going to skyrocket and take off. These are some of them. But to close out this little piece, sorry about that. It gets me so excited sometimes. I love when I'm onto something and it's leading somewhere, and it is. It is. It shows you the banks want the barriers removed also. Right? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. No. I know. I hear you debating. I can feel all that energy right through the camera. I know. I can respect your opinion. But no, they want the barriers removed also. Who wants it the most? This is where people got to start paying attention. The small and medium-sized banks want it badly. They're banding together because they don't want. If you saw the articles that came out the last 2-3 weeks, just go look at all the banking news and you could get a synopsis on it, really, a summation of it, really, if you had certain programs. But I like to read the articles myself. I think that's a little bit better. But anyway, they were saying how the top banks are trying to position themselves to get even bigger and take even more business. And then you look at a lot of the sabotage of the smaller banks. Holy, so you think crypto's been sabotaged and kneecapped? You haven't seen what's going on the last 6 years of the small and medium-sized banks. They've been, and then once they're about to collapse, which a lot of them are on the verge of collapse, they're just swaying it to win. Now, nobody can say when they're going to go down, but they've been terrible. That's why you saw the FDIC come out with that new list of 68 banks. Those are only the ones that are extremely close to collapse. There's a lot of them. The members only section knows. There's a lot. If you saw the numbers that we looked at in the members only section a couple months back, if you saw the numbers, it will literally drop your jaw. It's no exaggeration. So now we have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. Who knows when that's going to happen? But because of that, there's a strong wind just happened outside. I have to take note of that. A giant tree branch broke off, hit the ground. This is like last week, hit the ground. And I was like, what the heck? You could feel like the house shake. I was like, what is that? I went outside and I saw, and that's a heavy oak tree, right? There's a heavy wood out there. So they want that barrier removed. Here's the thing, here's where it all comes to a conclusion. If and when that barrier is removed, and if the banks want these bank coins, like what they're showing themselves, like what they're claiming through their verbiage, through their actions, if they're as desperate as they're actually showing, if this technology is as potent as we believe it to be, and as they're claiming it to be, I'm talking about multiples of lives will be changed in families, within families, true generational wealth, not riches where people are blowing it. I say this all the time, plenty of millionaires been made in crypto since I've been here. Plenty were made in 2021 when I got here, when I first started releasing videos on the channel. And plenty were made recently as well, right? That money can come and go. It can come and go. But generational wealth stretches for a long, long time. It helps those who are yet to come as well, are yet to rise. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. So now, let's go here, all right? Let's go here. Singapore, you have to keep up with stuff like this. If you're in the XRP, Algorand, Quant, Chainlink, Solana, Stellar, XLM, all these different things, you have to know what's going on in these places that have been dominated by bank coins, like Southeast Asia, Singapore, the UK, MENA region. These are all key to the domination of the bank coins. And here we have some more activity in one of these areas. Singapore to become Asia's next crypto hub with risk-adjusted regulation. Now, who has a great relationship with Singapore? Look how it's all coming together, folks. Why now? Once again, why now? You think it's coincidence? There's no coincidences. For every effect, there is a cause. And for every cause, there is an effect. That's it. There's a reason for everything. Ripple has a great relationship with the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Look it up. They've done so much testing when it comes to digital currencies with Singapore, CBDCs with Singapore. I mean, do they have one of their sandboxes? I think they offered them a sandbox as well to play around with, right? So once Singapore becomes dominant because of that great relationship, it opens up a great deal of opportunity. This is what it says here. Singapore's crypto-friendly regulations and doubling of licenses in 2024. Why now? Why the doubling in 2024? Why not 2023? We were doing great then. Why not 2022? We were doing great then as well. These bank coin companies have always been ahead of the competition. Ripple's been the best of the best. Chainlink's been the best of the best. Solana's been the best of the best. Algorand, I can keep going. Quant. Why not then? Because this is where the world as a whole, make no mistake about it, even though a lot of these countries try to portray themselves as enemies, they're really not behind the scenes. It's all a part of the chess game. They appear to be one way in front of you. Behind the scenes, they're a completely different way. In front of the media, they're arguing and they dislike each other. But then you hear these reports like somebody will slip up. One of these representatives of a country will slip up and say, well, we were on the phone with so-and-so. And you're like, whoa, aren't they an enemy? And they'll say, well, the conversation went great. Really? It went great. You see, it's all theater. The world is a stage, like Shakespeare said. I believe it was Shakespeare, right? The world is a stage. Don't let them play you. But wait, so they all know 2025 and on is when DLT, blockchain hash graph will be unleashed. Now, I'm not a psychic. I don't know how far things are going to go. I just know that this makes the environment extremely bullish because you're dealing with and have your hands on a world-changing system. You could look at it as coins. I don't look at them as coins. I believe that's a psychological mechanism or technique. Oh, they're coins. Bitcoin is a coin. It's not a coin. They're technologies. You have a piece. You're holding a piece of something that is world-changing. I keep that in mind. That's how I look at it. I have some world-changing things, and that makes them explosively bullish. And nobody's going to tell me different, right? I mean, hey, to each his own. You make up your own mind. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, that's why I carry with me. So now 2024, they double their licenses. They have to know something's coming. They have to believe it's time, correct? Right. They were all rushing in 2023 to become the crypto hubs of the world. Singapore was rushing. The MENA region, they were rushing. The UK, they were rushing. Remember, we read all those articles. Oh, they all want to be the crypto hub. And of course, United States is working behind the scenes. Stop playing. The United States government and military have so many classifications that no one politician knows everything. Like, they can't come out and tell you, well, we're working on having the absolute best DLT. They don't know it until it's released. They don't know about the best jet fighter that the United States is going to produce until it comes out because they don't have the classification level. That's classified above their authority, right? So, but make no mistake about it. If the United States is going to try to come out with over the years the best air fighter jets, pretty much they try to do the best everything. That's just the United States mentality. They have the mentality of I want to dominate, I want to be the best, and etc. Then they obviously will do the same unless that continuity has been broken. And you can't show me where that continuity has been broken. I don't believe that anyone reasonably can. Then I must believe if that continuity was not broken, that they are developing behind the scenes the best of the best DLT system that will, not that it has to dominate the world, it just has to have the connector pieces. This is one of the reasons I believe they've remained very close with Ripple and XRP. That's why they were taking phone calls from Stellar. They knew there was a great possibility. And why did they know it was a great possibility? They couldn't catch up and surpass the private sector. Instead, what the United States does, I said this before, they work with the private sector. They bring you in. They find out who's the best and they pay you money. They persuade you and they bring you in. They allow your company to work with them. Now you just sign these NDAs. You can't say anything. But you didn't start out a part of the government. You didn't start out a part of the military, working with the military. No, but you get the special contracts now and it's big money. Shh. They keep you real quiet. Shh. You can't talk about it. Shh. Don't say a thing. And they pay you this big money. I firmly believe that has been going on behind the scenes. So They just have to be at the center of the controlling of the system. Let Ripple and everybody else run the system. It's the same thing that the BIS is doing, except sometimes the BIS doesn't know how to they don't know how to be quiet. The BIS is like it's that one bank that likes to talk all the time. That one friend that talks all the time. And you're like, this guy can't hold water. He can't keep a secret. But everybody else is doing the same. It's just he's the one that's telling. You got to pay attention to that, right? So now we're going to move on from that. Okay. I love talking about that stuff. I do. I love a good case. I love to solve a good mystery. I'll tell you. Now we're going to move on here to a little bit of Bitcoin news. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get my place here. So this article is titled 3 Questions Reveal Your Ideal Bitcoin Allocation. Really? All right. I'm interested to hear this. How multi-asset investors can assess Bitcoin's compatibility with their portfolios by answering 3 key questions on return expectations and target portfolio volatility. You tell me, how did you go about getting your Bitcoin? Did you have certain numbers in mind? You one of those people? Do you have certain years in mind? Like, I'm going to accumulate for 2 years. What was your technique? Don't say how much Bitcoin you have. Keep yourself safe. Okay. Don't click any links anywhere or anything like that. Keep yourself safe. But what was your technique is the question. So anyway, by answering 3 key questions on return expectations and target portfolio volatility, multi-asset investors can evaluate Bitcoin's suitability for their portfolios and determine its optimal allocation based on their unique goals. Contrary to popular belief, Bitcoin's price is primarily driven by demand, not its mining supply. Each of Bitcoin's 5 bull markets have been propelled by innovations in how investors access it, ranging from the creation of early spot exchanges to introduction of futures, uncollateralized borrowing, spot Bitcoin ETFs, and now options on these ETFs. This evolution underscores Bitcoin's deepening integration into traditional financial markets, a trend accelerated by regulatory approvals from the U.S. agencies like the CFTC and SEC, which have progressively legitimized Bitcoin-based financial products. It says the 2017 decision to retain Bitcoin's 1 megabyte block size marked the resolution of a long-standing debate within the Bitcoin community on the scaling the network. Originally implemented to manage congestion and uphold decentralization, the block size limit became a defining feature. Let's scroll down here. I want to see something here. It says the fundamental distinction is Bitcoin's nature as a technology with strong network effects, which gold inherently lacks. Why do they always compare it to gold? Leave gold alone. I am a gold person primarily. I love gold. I love Bitcoin also, but if you're asking which one I'm going to have longer, it's going to be gold every single time. But let's keep going. The fundamental distinction is Bitcoin's nature is as a technology with strong network effects, which gold inherently lacks. I messed that sentence up. I know I mutilated it. I know. Network technologies often follow an S-curve, quote unquote, adoption model with mass adoption accelerating once the crucial 8% threshold is surpassed. With a market cap of $2 trillion, Bitcoin represents just 0.58% of nearly $400 trillion global financial asset portfolio. This share is poised to increase as asset managers, pension funds, and sovereign wealth funds progressively integrate into their investment strategies. Now, they elaborated a little bit further on something I've been saying all around the world. And this is one reason why Bitcoin is going to stay super bullish. Whether it consolidates from here on out for a little bit is inconsequential. If it takes a dip or a severe correction is inconsequential. In my humble opinion, everyone has to make that decision for themselves. Of course, what you do with your Bitcoin is up to you, or crypto as a whole is up to you. It's not financial advice. But for me, people like myself, inconsequential because of things like this. As this continues to increase, Bitcoin is going to become more and more rare. It's going to make its way into the hands of more of increasingly selfish people who want to hold it and keep it. Because they're addicted to that. It might go higher. Then it goes higher instead of selling. And once everybody sells, they say, no, it might go a little higher. Then everybody sells and they say it might go a little higher. They just keep holding. It's going to get in increasingly more people's hands like that. If that sentence makes sense. Yeah. And that's going to make it more and more rare. And you're going to have an explosion in price because of it. I think this is one of the reasons why you're getting these high estimations lately. Oh, 500,000. Notice how it keeps going up. They brought it down to my numbers for a while. A lot of them were saying 150,000. Then it started going up again. You notice that? Then it went up to 200,000 average prediction. Now it's 300,000 again. I wonder how long before they're saying 500,000 average again. Like as far as the average across all of these different predictors that come out and give you where they think Bitcoin is going to go. And it's because they're seeing more and more confirmation that, yes, Bitcoin is for an extended period of time is going to be adopted greatly. Right. I think the same thing is happening, but in a different way with gold, where you're getting this mainstream push with gold. I've never seen it. Have you seen it? Listen, I've never seen regular people talking about gold as much as I've seen in 2024. Never. I've never seen regular stores rushing to sell gold. Big mainstream stores now. And that's going to it's like it went from the bottom. I'm sorry. And I don't mean any disrespect, but like the small, regular, traditional gold sellers, right? It went from them to Costco, and I believe they said Walmart, etc. And I think it's going to trickle down again. More medium and small size businesses are going to say, oh, they want to buy gold. And yes, they do. They want gold. They want money market funds. All right. And I think that's going to help gold increase as well, and increase in popularity and in numbers of people that are going to be holding it long term. It's also helping with the education in the financial in the regular world of the financial system and how it really works. So, I mean, let's move on to one last article here. I think we have enough time for just one more. But crypto is looking very, very good. Like I said, because of certain catalysts and the neutralization effect, where right now the positive catalysts are very, very powerful, but you do have some negative catalysts. So there's this little bit of battle of energies going on right now, where for a time, I don't think it's going to last long, but I could be wrong. I'm not a psychic, like I said, but I believe that because of those, and just take a look at the catalysts, they're easily found. I think there is the possibility. Hopefully it's not, because I'd like to see crypto go back up. There is the possibility you could get some consolidation for a little while, right? It might go up like this here, might go up and down a little bit and then consolidate and then go down a little bit, then go up and consolidate. You know how that goes for just a little bit before the next explosion. We'll see. We'll see. What do you think? You tell me. I just told you what I think. You tell me what you think. I think that's fair. So now this article is titled Bitcoin to undergo supply shock that could send Bitcoin to $200,000. This is coming from Anthony Scaramucci. Here and he put a timeline on it. Really? That's pretty bold. This is the founder of investment firm Skybridge Capital is predicting Bitcoin will more than double in price over the next year. I could from here, let's see. I could see that happening. Yes, I could see that happening. In a new interview on the Bankless podcast, hedge fund veteran Anthony Scaramucci says that Bitcoin demand will likely continue to increase, creating a supply crunch that sends the flagship crypto asset soaring. Quote, there's going to be a supply shock and there's no reason why this can't trade to $200,000 over the next 12 months. I agree with that. That is a possibility. All right. Not a guarantee, but yes, I think that could happen. You don't have enough Bitcoin in the marketplace. I do agree with that, but you have to take into account what I said before, that the world is increasingly holding and collecting Bitcoin and using it in different ways. That's what really could drive this price up and make Bitcoin rare. Let's keep going. It says, so what happens? I need to own it. Yeah, I guess. There are things that are more bullish than Bitcoin. Let's just put that out there. I think a lot of us know. All right. It says my board, but those things you have to act on so quickly there's no point in discussing it. It would be very dangerous to discuss those things. Those are very risky, but the potentiality is unbelievable. But I think all of you know. And I'm not talking about meme coins and such. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real world. I'm talking about real stuff. Anyway, my board just told me, you're telling like that, sir? My board just told me I got to get a 1% position. Is that how you talk? I got to get a 1% position. Oh, all right, sir. Wouldn't it be I must get a 1% position? Anyway, I know somebody out there says, it doesn't matter. Keep reading. Okay, what do I got to do? What? Hold on a second. Does he usually talk like this? Like, all right. My grandmother's in the back of my head. My grandmother's like, "Make you better not talk like it." My grandmother was a teacher. Oh, and she was tough. You think my father was tough? Oh no, she was a tough. She was like, "You better speak. It don't matter where we grew up. You better speak proper, young man." And Granny was nothing to play with. If you know the old school people, they're nothing. You must respect them. It says, he likes this got word. I got to go buy a 1% position. You start buying it. It's liquid. It's the deepest crypto market, but it's not super liquid. $10 billion will move that market. It just will, unquote. All right, so he's very bullish on it. Do you believe that Bitcoin is going to double in price in 2025? I definitely believe that it's possible. So now that you have the information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to. I have a little delay on that, so you got to change it up every once in a while. Now it's a little stutter. The Monday